Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you are all having an incredible day. To start things off, the founder of Ripple-backed XRPL Labs has confirmed that his company's app is designed to do much more than let users send crypto from one wallet to another. At a BitTrue community event in Amsterdam, Winklevoss unveiled the company's flagship mobile app called Sign, that is Xign. The app will be fully fledged mobile banking platform that allows users to hold and spend euros, dollars, XRP, and other currencies without any help from a financial institution, they said. Sign will deliver a user experience we know as online banking, not just crypto. So what it will allow you to do is check your balance and send your funds in any currency, because the XRP ledger can handle any given currency issued on the ledger. We're not building a crypto wallet. We're building a banking app, except without a bank. Okay, we're building a banking app based on a digital ledger, based on the XRP ledger, and based on the inter-ledger protocol, end quote. When says, the idea is to appeal to the mainstream by making both crypto and traditional payments as simple as possible. He said it's not for geeks. We know that crypto wallets are for geeks, and then somewhere near the bull run at the end of 2017, suddenly 10% of the population here had a crypto wallet or multiple crypto wallets on their apps. It was still a few percent of the population, and most of them were geeks. I don't know why he's so obsessed with the word geeks. We're building something that my mother could use and maybe even would want to use. We're going to help users get started with a fully secure, user-friendly setup guide in-app, and there's no way you can, pardon my French, F this up. There's no way we're going to make it really easy. He's hyping that up a little bit too much. It better be the easiest thing in the entire world. You can't, that's a lot in just 2 paragraphs to kind of boast about your product. The platform won't make users enter long crypto addresses when trying to send funds. Instead, the app will utilize an account directory when looking up social features. Okay, it will also give users the ability to review and approve or deny payments to people and businesses. So this is part of a wider, larger initiative that the people from Ripple have initiated. About a year ago at this point, somewhere around that time frame, that the people from Ripple announced that they were going to be launching something called Spring, which is pretty much a spring for other companies who have announced that they plan on using or are going to be utilizing XRP or the XRP ledger to either send payments back and forth, to build games on top of. For those who are not looking at the screen, this one was 3 months ago. It says Spring with, they partnered with Forte Gaming, and they had $100 million blockchain fund, I think, to build gaming apps on top of the XRP ledger. So there's a lot of money floating behind the scenes to use the XRP ledger, to use the XRP token. This is happening across the wider cryptocurrency space. But I think more so for XRP, it's kind of significant because the original intention of XRP was just to be used by banks and for banking payments. But as the upgrades have happened, as it's become more robust, a lot of other cryptocurrency platforms are trying to make sure that they stay inside of the, what's it called? You know, everyone else is like, I have a smart contract platform. I run ICOs. I can run STOs on my platform. So the same exact thing is happening with the XRP ledger. They're trying to make sure that everything can run on top of it as well. Now we also have more confirmation, because the idea is that, at least I felt this way, and this is what I think some of the news that we also got last year was as well. When we assumed that the SEC was going to give proper regulations in 2018, which they did not, one of the things that was kind of floating around the cryptocurrency space is that XRP, Stellar, maybe even Litecoin at the beginning of 2018, and many other cryptocurrencies could be considered securities and therefore fall under the jurisdiction of the, I guess, the US government, the SEC, whatever you kind of want to call it. And then since then, we've seen a huge rush by many cryptocurrency projects who have been trying to make sure that their coins and their platforms are as decentralized as possible. Like, it's not just an XRP thing. We've heard this multiple times from the people from IOTA, from Ethereum, from Stellar. Everyone's trying to make more nodes. Everyone's trying to make more something. Everyone's trying to make the ledger more distributed so that it flows around the world a lot easier than it is right now. They don't want to make sure that there isn't just one entity that has all of the, all of the nodes and stuff like that. Anyway, so yeah, this is a banking app that is going to be using XRP or on the XRP ledger. I assume also people will be using XRP to send funds back and forth as well. I assume we should be getting more information like this as the year continues to go on, because the people from Ripple have kind of been one of the most quiet this year thus far. Every other platform, give or take, has kind of been having events, saying things that's going to happen, like where they plan on going, what the future holds. But the people from Ripple haven't. I feel like they're holding an enormous amount of news back, at least in my opinion, simply because I think it would be kind of weird, all the money that's flowing behind the scenes for that company and all the extra partnerships that they've been getting, that nothing hyper significant would have happened to them, at least thus far. I know other things have been happening. I know other stuff has happened this year so far, but I mean like announcements as far as like banking partnerships and banks that are going to be using XRP and stuff like that. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, Binance is in the news. Institutional demand for crypto assets is decisively starting to affect the crypto price. Bitcoin remains the bellwether of the industry, while data showing that crypto markets have already bottomed out is becoming more explicit, according to Binance research. The crypto industry will continue to gain momentum over 2019, with the pace of evolution potentially speeding up if crypto assets prices get a boost. According to new research by Binance, they released this yesterday. The report underscores the all-time high volumes of crypto assets recently trading on the CME group, with over $1 billion US being traded during a single 24-hour period in May 2019. Specifically, as Bitcoin is reported, the CME Bitcoin futures reached a record high of 33,700 contracts on the 13th of May. This impressive number of contracts was 50% higher than the previous record of around 22,000 contracts that had been reached on the 4th of April. This extraordinary flurry of trading reveals that institutional demand is entering the market. Thus, the Binance research report concluded institutional investors currently representing, in their conservative assumptions, less than 10% of all long-time investors are growing their exposure to digital assets and cryptocurrencies, as illustrated by the premium of nearly 40% for Grayscale Bitcoin's trust over Bitcoin spot price at the end of May. I don't think I really covered that in another video. It was a very little quick thing that people were talking about, is that we've had around the world multiple times, and it shows the amount of people who are actually getting into the cryptocurrency space, that there have been premiums, that is to say a higher price that other people around the world are paying for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. And I think on the Grayscale Bitcoin trust at the end of May, the Bitcoin price on their trust was floating around, I think, $11,700 when Bitcoin was around 83, 84, 8,500 on our side. So it shows that there's a huge willingness for a lot of people around the world to pay over the $10,000 amount simply because they just want as much Bitcoin as humanly possible. And then also the other news that we've been having, for those of you who were not here for the other videos, about the amount of institutional interest that's like 1 or 2, 3, 4, less than that, single people around the world who are trying to buy up as much cryptocurrency Bitcoin as humanly possible. Here's the actual research thing. It's 108 pages for those of you who are interested in reading that. Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of research and stuff happening behind the scenes, and just people trying to really get a grasp of exactly what's happening in the cryptocurrency space. A lot of people were calling for, I'm glad they've not been talking as much anymore, calling for like new all-time bottoms for the price of Bitcoin, and that Bitcoin is going to go down. But we know now, because of numbers and metrics and the numbers that we're getting from these other cryptocurrency exchanges, that there's a huge amount of interest, not even just from institutional investors, that's the richest, but also normal people around the world are getting into it very heavily right now, because as it's mentioned more in the news, as more people get into it, as more people end up buying up fractions of it, there's more, or rather there's more people getting into it, there's less of it to go around, and the less of it that there is to go around, the higher the price goes, and the higher the price goes, more that the news talks about it, and then the more normal people get into it as well. Kind of interesting. Let's move on. Next up, here's a good one. Official United States copyright archive data shows that Y. Liu, a Chinese citizen residing in California, claimed copyright of Bitcoin's white paper on the 24th of May. In the filing, Liu claims to have published the Bitcoin white paper on the 11th of January 2008 under the pseudonym of Satoshi Nakamoto with the title Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Earlier this month, self-proclaimed Satoshi Craig Wright also filed U.S. copyrights registrations for the same paper and most of the original code used to build Bitcoin. And it kind of goes on to talk about Craig Wright, not Satoshi, what have you, so on and so forth. I'm actually surprised that there's only one other person who has kind of done this. We know that I think at least 13 people had done this before Craig Wright, but we had news a couple days ago from the U.S. Patent Office that anyone apparently can file a patent for the Bitcoin white paper. I think it's been already given to a couple of other people, so if you have nothing else to do today, maybe also file one as well. Maybe you can also be listed on the group of people who have also created the Bitcoin white paper, if that so fancies your life. I just love that some random person also filed a claim for it. Good luck, Godspeed, hope it works out for you. Next up, that's an angry cat. Russia's largest bank, the state-owned Sberbank, has suspended its crypto-related plans due to the central bank's negative stance on the industry. Local news agency TASS reported this yesterday. No, 30th of May. There we go. Sberbank Vice President Andrei Shemetov has recently revealed that the news at the recent press conference, claiming that Sberbank has been awaiting crypto legislation that would allow it to trade cryptocurrencies. However, Shemetov stressed that the local financial regulator and the central bank, the Bank of Russia, is against the adoption of the crypto space at the moment. As such, the bank had to halt its plans relating to cryptocurrencies. In the report, the official did not specify what particular project the bank had to suspend. In January 2018, Sberbank's subsidiary in Switzerland, I hate saying the S and the B together, subsidiary in Switzerland, Sberbank Switzerland AG, announced that it was planning to launch cryptocurrency exchange. At the time, Shemetov claimed that the bank had chosen Switzerland to establish the exchange because Russian authorities did not allow crypto operations. Isn't that weird, having to leave your own country just to do something else because your country is taking too long? Recently, Sberbank has requested a client to provide data on their income from cryptocurrency revenue. Russian authorities have, as of yet, been unable to pass crypto legislation for a variety of reasons. It has to do, I'm not going to even say what it, no, I have my own ideas. Whatever. Most recently, TASS reported that Russia had to postpone the adoption of a crypto law due to the requirement from the Financial Action Task Force on Money Laundering to legislate money industry terms such as crypto and Bitcoin instead of using terms such as digital assets. What that's talking about is that a lot of countries around the world, and I love it. A lot of them thought that they could simply specify digital assets as something that would be completely controlled. What they didn't know, because a lot of them don't pay attention, is that they didn't really understand that there were ICOs, there were STOs, there were airdrops, there were a whole bunch of other things that didn't really fall under the jurisdiction of crypto assets, because crypto assets to them meant Bitcoin, XRP, Litecoin, so-and-so. Like that entire list that we go over in these videos, this is what they were trying to define as stuff that they had complete control over. Lo and behold, as the industry has evolved, because all of these countries have taken 2, 3, 4, 5 years to kind of give any type of legislation, what's ended up happening is that all these other new terms and stuff have kind of come out of the woodworks, and this is why they say that they're redoing all of their legislation and the laws that they had to be able to cover the proper topics that they're trying to be able to regulate. I am not really surprised, and I don't really care as much that this bank in Russia was trying to trade cryptocurrencies. They weren't even part of the news that was like really getting the rest of the cryptocurrency space excited, as far as New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, Fidelity, TD Ameritrade, what have you. Like I said, not really surprised. Russia has had a positively negative stance on cryptocurrency for the last 3 to 4 years. They're so interested in trying to control the market, and even them talking about that they won't be able to do it now. I assume over the next 2 years, if we end up getting a $50,000 Bitcoin price, how much do you want to bet that at some point by the end of this year or sometime the beginning of next year that we're going to have some Russian bank who's going to be like, we're actually trading cryptocurrencies now, because they'll realize exactly that there's money to be made, that they aren't making that money, and then there will be like a mad rush for them to be able to get into the market. Anyway, I mean, Russia's a country, one of many countries around the world that is desperate to have complete control over their economies, and this cryptocurrency scare them because they know that their currency isn't doing well, and people will start to take their money out of that currency just to be able to live and make money and stuff like that. And you also have the other side of the coin, where it's kind of like, if you promote cryptocurrencies as a bank, the wider country at large will know that cryptocurrencies are a thing and that they can legally trade them. And then people start making more money and they realize that your inflation rate is between 5 to 7% every single year, and they made 228% on their cryptocurrencies. Why would I continue using their money? I can go to the mall and actually spend my cryptocurrencies. Why should I continue doing that? And then the whole snowball effect continues. You tell your friends you made 300% on the money that you did, whatever, so-and-so, and so they put their money into it. So I'm not surprised that a lot of countries, especially countries who have terrible fiat currencies that they are desperate to make sure that they take their time when it comes to regulation. You can only take so long. Like the world isn't waiting for regulations anymore. That was a very 2018 thing. The world at large is just waiting to get to higher Bitcoin prices. And you know the whole story. Higher the prices, more people in, etc., back and forth. Next up, the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania has introduced an online program on financial technologies, including digital currencies, according to a press release published on the 30th of May. The new online program, called FinTech, Foundations and Applications of Financial Technologies, features lectures and case studies on cryptocurrencies, or rather, topics such as payments, cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, and crowdfunding, among others. Apart from the university lectures, the course also features speakers from the leading industry companies, including payment processor Square, marketplace leader Common Bond, and investment advisory firm Vanguard. I guess the most important, or rather interesting part here, is that there's a university who has like a online cryptocurrency course. I think there was a platform called Coursera. I don't know if it still exists. This is not paid advertising, I promise you. I think it's Coursera. I think that's what it was. You could take like free online university courses, and like you get like a diploma at the end of it. And I remember, I think like about a year ago, it had to be, they were announcing that they had a like a free cryptocurrency course on there. You could like receive a diploma for it when you're done. So, I mean, nice to see this kind of rolling out slowly but surely as this becomes more of a thing. Anyway, I just want to talk about that for a couple seconds. I found it kind of cool. To kind of finish things off, the group of 20 major economies grouped together as the G20 is progressing with its aim to understand and find space for cryptocurrencies within the world economies. Their latest drive is a push for a registry for cryptocurrency exchanges to help curb potential money laundering. It is expected that the G20 will soon come to an agreement on this registry after formally recognizing and taking head of the cryptocurrency marketplace only about a year or so ago. Finance ministers and central bankers from the bloc will discuss challenges surrounding digital currencies, including money laundering and customer protection, of course, at a meeting in the Japanese city of Fukuoka, Japan, in early June. There's no getting away from the fears that central banks have over digital currencies, which operate decentralized and thus with no point of control. They are borderless and mostly unregulated, pushing those in the G20 to try and get a regulatory framework in place for the exchanges. It is also the anonymous nature and the fact that banks are cut out of knowing what transactions take place, and that make digital currencies a potential hotbed for money laundering. It's not only that they don't know where these transactions are taking place, is that they don't have a cut of the transactions taking place. That's the major problem. It comes down to the fact that governments always want their cut, and when they don't get their cut, they get cut. No, they get annoyed, and other people get cut. Something happens along the way with the governments, and this is why they're very desperate, in my opinion, to be able to figure out how to push for a registry for cryptocurrency exchanges around the world. What's going to end up happening is that we are already experiencing a DEX run, that's to say a decentralized exchange run, where many companies around the world are already creating their own decentralized exchanges. Binance also has their own decentralized exchange. Once we get more of a push by governments, this is the only real place that they can push it, unless they can unplug every socket from the wall and stop the internet. You can't really stop cryptocurrencies from doing what they are doing, and especially as more people get into the cryptocurrency space. So they focus on ICOs and cryptocurrency exchanges as a way to really, understand exactly what's going on. But you cannot put a decentralized exchange on a registry. There's no office. There's no one there for you to walk in and to complain to. So as decentralized exchanges become more powerful, more people on them, more decentralized, more robust, what have you, so on and so forth, we're going to see a lot more people moving to these platforms. I myself have already left a couple of exchanges. I wasn't on a lot of them. I got tired of, for those who are wondering, pretty much I couldn't take my money out. There was a problem with me taking my money out. I wanted to take my money out. I had to upload a whole bunch of stuff just to get my own money off of the platform. So I was kind of like, nope, I think I'm done. And that's going to be more of a thing, especially what I'm waiting for. Oh, this is going to be good. What's going to happen is that as we already have tight monetary controls on top of normal finance, and you can't take out this much more than a day. You can't deposit more than this much in a day. You can't send this much around the world in more than a day. When they start implementing that explicitly on cryptocurrency exchanges, as of right now, you need to like upload ID, upload this. When that becomes more of a major thing, that's when we're going to see a huge exodus from these other platforms. Anyway, the people from G20, I think they're meeting relatively soon, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's sometime this weekend, sometime next week. I don't know the exact date of when their meeting is going to be. However, I know it's going to be very, very good as far as just listening to the things that they're going to be proposing. Anyway, without going too much deeper into that, as always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. They are Professor Wally from Gun, Bot University, SC Verzely, Fine Art, Crypto and Beer Shipmate, Brady Niels, L. Doug, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, Shaolin Fried Rice, Galaboa Snake, Crypto Joe, Mohair Moroni, Carl Birchenoff, singer-songwriter Mike Savitz, Rai Rai, Yasha Harari, Amy Starsheen, Jeffrey Ramsey, Crip, Nodic, Clara T. Snowden, Crypto Artist, Cole D, 3D, Nicholas, One Earth, One Piece, One Love, Setsuna, Nick Kanaya, Richie Rich, The Third, RF Dusty, Cody, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Sam, Siri, Vaseline, Jeremy the Photographer, Jim Gardner, Minting Coins, Arthur Yako, Nick Mangelavori, Anthony Charles, and Me Can Nick. Thank you all very much for your support. At the moment, the market is recovering from that falsified drop in the market that we had, where I'm pretty sure somebody put in a massive sell order to try and get the price to go back down. We are currently, for those who are not looking at the screen, sitting a couple dollars away from a $8,600 Bitcoin from where we were. We were $8,052 about a good day or so ago. So prices are definitely moving back up. Bitcoin is currently up by 3%. The head runner, at least in the top 10 at the moment, is EOS, almost up around 8%. And I assume this is because of the Block 1, the B1 event that is supposed to be taking place sometime today. I am very anxious to see exactly what this news is going to be, as the rest of the market has also been moving upward for EOS over the last couple of days. EOS was around $5.50, $6 just a couple of days ago, and we are moving upwards as everyone is anticipating hopefully some very good news. They've been hyping this up like the people from Block 1 and everyone in EOS, the EOS community, has been hyping this up. So I'm hoping for some very substantial news. Tron is up by 13%. I assume this has to do with the integration and the non-melting of Tron integrating with BitTorrent. That's all I can kind of think of. Cosmos is up. My opinion, I think it's because yesterday during the entire SEC round table thing that they had, which was probably one of the most boring things that I've ever seen in my entire life. One of the head guys at the, on the stand, mentioned Cosmos and another cryptocurrency. And a lot of people were like, hey, dude, stop naming random coins. So this is why I think Cosmos is up. Everything else kind of, was it Quantum that he also mentioned? Yeah, so I also assume that BitTorrent is also up because of the integration that should have happened a day or two ago with Tron. Yay, good luck to them. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and listening. I'm kind of excited for the rest of the day. I mean, is that a bird outside? I'm really excited to see exactly what's going to happen with the whole EOS thing. Sorry. Anyway, I'm flying past the window. Thank you all once again for watching and listening. And yeah, EOS today. Let's see what they say, and I'll talk to you all soon. See you.